Orlando is a beautiful and magical place to live, but I'm realistic. I know that it's not for everyone and it's not just magic and rainbows and everything's perfect. So in this video, we're going to go over the pros and cons to living in Orlando. Orlando is popular, and because of that, we have a lot of opportunities. We get like the latest restaurants and things going on. If there's like a traveling art installation or something like that, a lot of times it's going to come here to Orlando. And we have a lot of popular restaurants that have come here, like White Castle. I know that's maybe not everyone's thing, but I think they have like the first location in Florida is here in Orlando. We also have a couple Trader Joe's, which is a big deal because they're not everywhere here in Florida. We also have an IKEA and different places like that you just don't have like in every single city. A con is Orlando is busy. From traffic on the road, public transportation, the airports, the grocery stores, all that kind of stuff. It's just really busy here in Orlando, and some people that have lived here for a long time would probably tell you that it's overpopulated. A pro is the warm weather. When I have people contacting me about moving to Orlando and I ask them, oh, why are you thinking of moving here? A lot of times it's, well, you have warm weather, you don't have snow, and I need to be there. So that's a big reason why a lot of people move here. It's beautiful here. A con is the weather. So we're talking about, hurricanes, thunderstorms, all that kind of stuff. So hurricane season is from June to November. It doesn't mean that we don't get hurricanes outside of that season, but usually that's when it is. Now here in Central Florida, we're not affected by hurricanes as much as, like South Florida or either of the coasts. And on the chance that we do have a really big hurricane that comes through, your power can be off for, a week or two or maybe more. It's happened to a lot of us Orlando residents before. It can rain a lot here, especially in the summer. It seems like somewhere between like June, July, August, there will be like a month where it just rains every day. Now, usually it's only for a couple hours here and there, but it's something that will kind of affect, those outdoor activities that you like to do and everything. And you'll have to plan around that a little bit. And sometimes you just never know when it's going to rain. So it's a little harder to plan. The weather can also affect your allergies. So if you have seasonal allergies, or maybe you don't have allergies now, and if you move here, you may end up having allergies. That's what's happened to some people that I've known. But of course, you can just take your allergy meds and hopefully you'll be okay. Now, our pollen count can be higher than most places, so I think that's why it will really affect people's seasonal allergies. What's a pro or a con of living in Orlando? Let us know in the comments. If you're enjoying the videos so far, like and comment. It really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, I really appreciate the support. If we haven't met yet, my name is Dan Ganator. I'm a real estate agent in Orlando. If you have any questions or need an agent, my contact information is in the description below. And also in the description is a link to my preferred properties for sale in Orlando. Now we're going to call this one a pro. Orlando is affordable-ish. Obviously, it's going to depend on where you live now and, the comparison and everything. But a lot of the clients that I work with, especially if they're coming from California or New York, something like that, they will say how affordable Orlando is. Obviously, prices have gone up so much recently, from houses to eggs. Everything seems to be going up in price. So Orlando may not be as affordable as it used to be. A con is insurance. So home insurance and car insurance is going to be more expensive here in Orlando than where you're from, most likely. Now, as far as home insurance goes, it can be a little difficult to obtain home insurance, and there's a multitude of reasons of why that might be, but what we're seeing recently is the age of the roof. And there's some legislation that has been passed recently to help with all of this, but it's a hot topic. So something that I do recommend is when you're looking for a realtor, when you're looking for a mortgage person, all that kind of stuff, you may also want to talk to an insurance broker because they can give you a good idea of what you can expect to pay for home insurance here in Orlando. Orlando is beautiful. The city motto here is the city beautiful, and I think it lives up to that name. It's really nice sometimes when you're having a rough day or whatever to get outside and just really take in the beauty of the city. A con to living here is the wildlife, or at least certain varieties of wildlife, like the sharp teeth kind, alligators, and then we also have bugs and roaches that fly. Lizards will end up coming into your house, all kinds of stuff. A pro to living in Orlando is there are a lot of things to do. If you want to do outdoor activities, we definitely have that. And you can do it year round because the weather's so great most of the year. And then there's all kinds of indoor activities you can do here as well, because since it does get hot and it is rainy sometimes, you do want to still get out of the house, but not get wet and be super hot. So some of the indoor activities you can do is maybe go to a museum. There's some really cool stuff downtown Orlando, like there's this wall crawl, where you can take Instagram pictures behind all these different walls and stuff. And yeah, so it's just really cool. There's all kinds of little unique things like that we have in Orlando that I don't think every other place has. Now, I will say a little bit of a mini con with everything that Orlando has to offer, and there's just so many things to do week after week. I will say that sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, or you may not know exactly what's going on because Orlando is so spread out. There's so many things going on. I think it's really hard to keep up. So that's like a little bit of a mini con in my opinion. Another con is Orlando has a bit of imposter syndrome is what I'll call it. So what I mean by that is Orlando was trying to do things to kind of give the city an identity outside of the theme park. So what they would do is they would research other areas and then come back to Orlando and bring those things here. So one of the things is like Church Street Station, which is downtown, and it was modeled after the French Quarter, and you can see that in the architecture and all that stuff. So Orlando just kept on trying to do things like that. I will say recently they have started to kind of be a little bit more unique, try to find their own identity and have their own culture. But I will say when you're here in Orlando, I can't really say if you're in Orlando, you've got to do this one thing, or you have to eat at this one restaurant, or have this one kind of cuisine that is special here in Orlando, like in other cities that you may be familiar with. Check out this video to learn everything you need to know about moving to Orlando, or this playlist that gives you a tour of Orlando. Reach out to me if you have any questions. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching.